All right, everybody. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Dirt Track Untold YouTube and Facebook channel here, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. It's Monday Night Live. I'm your host, Jordon Cox. Let's get everybody in here. Welcome, everybody. How we doing? What's up? Don, what's going on? How you doing? Hello, everybody on Facebook. Hello, everybody on YouTube. How we all doing? Welcome in. Hang tight, everybody. Give me 1 second. But how we doing? Where did everybody get some racing in this weekend? I know the weather kind of threw us off a little bit at New Egypt. We'll talk a little bit about that. We also had weather interrupt the High Limit Series over at Bridgeport as well, which was a shame. I had no idea that rain was even going to be in the conversation this weekend. I thought we were in the clear for sure. It looked like Friday maybe we might get we might have some unlucky weather, but then all of a sudden it went away, and then next thing you know, Saturday gets screwed over. It was a shame. I also want to apologize. My voice is a little hoarse, or I don't know what's going on, but so if I sound funkier than normal, that's why. I think my allergies are getting to me. Sorry, I'm trying not to sniffle into the mic. Let's get that going here. But how we doing? Wally, thank you for watching on both YouTube and Facebook. Appreciate you. There's Jim. What's up, Jim? Hello. Hello, driver. Raymond, how did it feel to be back in the car? Felt pretty good overall. I'm going to try not to be a Debbie Downer about my experience. Once again, appreciate Mike Butler and Dave Wellema for letting me run the car Friday night at New Egypt. It was a lot of fun. Overall, a lot of fun. Great to be back inside the race car. It was really fun to be out there. But man, we'll go over it real quick. My crew chief pulled a 99 out of 100. Threw the night off completely right off the bat. And of all nights, the track was actually really good. It was really had a lot of bite. So everyone was fast, and having to start last in a 8-lap heat race, 11th. I made it to 9th. That was it. And then had to start 17th in the feature. Drove down to turn 1. The guy in front of me decided he wanted to park in the middle of turn 1 and 2. And the second I rolled out of the throttle and tapped the brake, I got ran over from behind. Got a left rear flat. Came in, they changed it. I contemplated even going back on the racetrack. I didn't think it was really worth it, but I said, you know what? I already squeezed and got myself into the seat. I might as well just go out and run 20 laps and have fun. So I just kind of laid back. And every time I'd catch up to the guys, I'd kind of not want to race with them, and I didn't want to tear the car up. Mike had to race it the next night. I didn't want to do that to him and tear up his race car. I'd already tore it up a little bit. So, ended up 16th. Started 17th, finished 16th. So, I technically gained a spot. And I did pass a couple cars, but because I got irritated at the end and passed a couple guys. But it was fun. Car's really good. Mike's got a really fast race car. there's a reason he was second a lot and ended up winning, and it's a really good race car. So it was fun. I had a good time. It was a shame that we didn't get to race Saturday because, like I said, got a really good, really fast race car. So, but that is a shame. But I had fun. Good time overall. But yeah, crew chief's fired. That's right, Jim. I didn't even have a chance. He just walked in the trailer and said, I drew for you. Don't be mad at me. And I said, well, how bad is it? He said, it's bad. 99 out of 100. So it is what it is. Hopefully, sometime, get to go racing again in the future. But for now, that'll hold me off for a little while. Still a little sore. Arms and legs were a little sore, mostly just from being squeezed into that 15 seat. It was tight. I'm not a 15. We'll just put it at that. Don, Mother Nature screwed up a lot of racetracks on Saturday. Yeah, sure did. It's a shame. Mark, welcome in from Saratoga. Welcome in. What do you got for me, Corey? What do we got? Jordan, do you know if Mike's running the 358 out at Oswego for Dirt Week? I don't know specifically. I think, Jim, you're in here. You'll know. I know he's obviously going to Oswego, but I don't know. I would imagine they're going to run everything, right? Probably 358s and big block. But I don't want to sit here and say for sure. But I imagine if they're going to Oswego, they're probably going to do both. That would have been a good question for me to ask him. But yeah, I know Oswego is obviously is happening. We've got where are we going this weekend? We got Fulton this weekend. We'll just go ahead and talk. We'll just hop right into. There's not much to talk about when it comes to the dirt track untold drivers. I mean, hey, I was one of them this weekend, but not a whole lot happening there. Billy at New Egypt ran good on Friday. Just kind of missed the mark in the match race against. He got pulled out in the match races against Go Down and had him in the first lap, but then gave up the bottom, and Ryan drove right back around him, and or right back under him, I should say, and then they went out for the qualifiers, and I think I can't remember where he started, but he ended up finishing third. So he was in a good spot. He was going to start 11th on Saturday. And unfortunately, Mother Nature just wasn't in our favor. We ended up trying like hell. I give New Egypt Speedway all the credit in the world. Give Chris and everybody, Chris Moore and Mark Blackwell and everybody involved there, just really trying. They were very. I appreciate. I know it seemed like some guys were kind of annoyed, but it was like I really appreciate the communication with the drivers. They called the modified guys and the crate guys up at least once or twice. At least once for everybody, and then I think they called the modified guys up twice, and just kind of checked in and said, "Hey, listen, this is what's going on. There's still some patches and some pop-up showers coming through. We might have a window here and there. What do you guys want to do?" And everyone was like, it was pretty majority. There was plenty of guys. I know Billy said in the vlog video that he was one of the 4 drivers that was like, let's just pack it up and it's going to rain. It's a boo to him. But the majority of the guys wanted to just go out and try to keep the track. There was a bunch of times where it looked like we were going to go racing, and it would just literally just every single time the track was ready, it would start raining again. It would just rain enough that it would just lose the racetrack, and they'd have to pull the cars back off. And they'd pull the cars back off, and it would stop raining, and then they'd pull them back out there, and they'd start running in again, and then it would start raining, and they'd pull them back off. It was just, they did it like I think they did 3 rounds of just trying to. They had everybody out there, then they just had the crates out there, then they had just modifieds out there, and eventually they said this is going to continue for another hour or so. We can't keep people here for that long. Keep trying it, and they But again, I appreciate them giving the effort. I appreciate the communication with the drivers being the biggest thing. Going back and forth, just being like, hey, this is what we got going on. What do you want to do? So that communication, that's what I appreciate the most. Instead of just being like, this is what we're doing, it was, what do you guys think we should do? Should we try it? And then there was the communication of, here's what we're going to do if it gets canceled. At least with the crate guys, because there is another race scheduled for the crate sportsmen at New Egypt. So they went back and forth on that, what they were going to do if that race got, had to get postponed. So props to them for the communication and the effort. But ended up not being any racing, so Billy didn't get to do anything other than just the qualifiers on Friday. And that's it. So I was the only one that ran a feature. Yeah. Oh, all right. So Jim says yes to the 358. So they have 358s and big blocks, or the 358 and the big block for Oswego. So Super Dirt Week, you can count on Mike being in both 358 and the big block for Oswego. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. Thanks, Ed. Yeah, I did have fun. It was fun. Matt, listen. I'm going to be as positive. I'm going to just keep my positive answer that I had. I appreciate what they did. Listen, we can sit there and say there's ifs, ands, and buts and all that about the extended track prep after hot laps that happened and all that. There was some wasted time later on. There was the whole fact that why did we run the 4-cylinder feature? Why didn't we just run the modified feature? Listen, we can just keep going on. There's maybe an hour of time not wasted, but there was a lot of time wasted on track prep. But at the end of the day, they still got things moved very quickly. The rain just kind of came at the worst time. And they just weren't able to recover. It is what it is. It sucks, man. It really sucks. So. But Matt, thanks for just hooking me up with the sticker on my helmet. Appreciate it, buddy. I had all my stuff. Don't think that I didn't have all my stuff. I was ready, but thank you. You were embarrassed? Nah, man, don't. It is, listen, like I said, I was looking at stuff, like we were getting ready for feature stuff, and I looked at my phone and I went, oh, well, we did really good on time. Obviously you look back and you go, okay, maybe we could have gotten an extra half hour if they didn't, mess around a little bit, but it is what it is, man. At the end of the day, for me and for for Mikey and all in our team, crates weren't going to run. The crates were never going to run. So honestly, it's not a big deal. I mean, it sucks that we didn't get the modified feature in, and now they got to figure that out. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, man. Thanks. It was cool being on track. It was cool to be back out there. But Mark, Billy will not be at Oswego. As far as I know. I think that's a no. I don't think that was in the plans at any point. As far as I know, that's not happening. Ralph checking in from New York. What's up, buddy? I'm trying to find something for that October race. I know Mikey doesn't want to hear that because he loses some help in the pits, but trying to find a ride for that race. $4,000 to win. Camo. When is the makeup date for New Egypt? The crates will be running in October. It's going to be 2 features on the 20... whatever that show is. I think it's the 24th and the 25th, so it'll be the 25th. They're going to run 2 features. They'll run the 4,000 win show, and then they'll make up the All-Star Cup race. The modifieds, I heard it'll be added into the beginning of next year. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's for sure. It's not for sure. It's not official, but that's what I heard, is that they will add it to a show at the beginning of the year next year. What do you got here, Wally? Yep, Evergreen's running the Speedsters. Yeah, I don't know if Billy's running one there or if Creighton's running. I don't know. But Evergreen, I think Bobby Butler will be there. I think that short load car will be there. Racing Mind, what do you got here? New Egypt does a good job broadcasting the race on YouTube. On Saturday, the race fans were flexible with switching from NES to Lucas Oil. Yeah. Yep. No, they do a great job. It's a really great job for a free, YouTube program. It's a good deal. All right. I don't have too much for you guys here because we didn't get a whole lot of racing in, but there was they did have a winner with the high limits. We'll get into, actually, we'll just go into the modif. We'll stay local. We'll just stay local with the other New Egypt, or the other New Jersey racetrack, Bridgeport Speedway, had the high limit series, and a little bit of a cool story with the rain shortened race. Danny Sams the third, picking up, I believe this is his first career win in the high limit series. So that's really cool. Super rain shortened race. They only got 10 laps in, but a win's a win. They had to endure about about a 1 hour rain delay. Looks like before that, they even got the 10 laps in. And then once the rain came after that, they just said, you know what, this thing's over. We're declaring it good. But yeah, congrats to him on the win. Seems like a pretty popular win for his first career high limit win. So congrats to him on that. Now we'll do our... I only had a couple races here, obviously, with the modifieds and up in our area here. Utica Rome running this weekend. Eric Rudolph winning the 358 race on Friday. And then Alex Jankowski winning the New Yorker 50 on Saturday. The 358 race at Fonda, for Fonda's weekend, Rocky Warner picking up the 358 win on Friday. Then Matt Shepard winning the Montgomery County Open, the Short Track Super Series North event at Fonda. Matt Shepard picking up the win there. Good run from Jessica Friesen running the 44 car. That was pretty impressive to see. I feel like the highlight of the event was this. So here's a picture that came across my news feed Saturday night. Well, yeah, it was still Saturday night. Danny Varon going for a ride. Supposedly a broken tie rod end is what caused this. From what I remember, hang on, because I had his post. I didn't send it to my computer here because I saved his update. He is okay. Yeah, he was okay. Yeah, broken tie rod end. But Danny Varon was okay after this. Car was pretty mangled up afterwards. But glad to see him walk away from that situation. I mean, look at that thing up there. Dang. I couldn't find video of it. Because I watched the highlight video and they didn't put it in there. So I don't know if they didn't put it in there for thinking, not sure if he was okay, but he posted and he was okay. But quite the ride. Seen some guys go for a ride when a tie rod breaks. Tie rod end breaks. Anytime a front end suspension part breaks, usually the front end just digs into the ground, or you hook one way or the other, and this is what ends up happening. He was running good. He was running inside the top 5. I want to say he was running 3rd when this happened. Probably 3rd or 4th when this happened. But glad to hear he's okay. And kind of a badass shot that somebody got. So good stuff there. The picture, not the actual incident, but picture. But that was the highlight. That's kind of the highlight of that. The Apple Fest shootout at Brighton Speedway. Matt Williamson winning that, and then Jimmy Phelps winning the Encore 50 at Weedsport. That was yesterday. So congrats to all those guys getting their wins this weekend. Guys that ended up racing and getting wins. We got coming up, speaking of Bridgeport, the Danny Serrano weekend is this weekend at Bridgeport Speedway. I like to put that out there. Danny Serrano was always, Danny Serrano was the pimp. Very popular guy between New Egypt Speedway and Bridgeport. I dealt with Danny at New Egypt mostly when he went to Bridgeport, and a few times that I ended up going there while he was, track promoter there. Always just a great guy to me personally. Unfortunately, I don't have a car, or I mean, at the time, but I'm probably going to spend some time this weekend at home after a long weekend. This past weekend kind of being away racing and everything. But it's a great event to go and support the memory of a great guy that made a big that really made a big difference for a lot of guys in our area in this small little pocket of modified racing. So the Danny Serrano weekend at Bridgeport Motorsports Park. That'll be this Friday and Saturday. I believe they have racing both Friday and Saturday. Then you have the Outlaw 200 weekend at Fulton. So Fulton Speedway has their weekend of racing. Again, I think that's a Friday, Saturday deal. Yes, it is a Friday, Saturday deal. And then it looks like Fall Brawl at Merrittville Speedway is also on tap for this upcoming weekend when it comes to the modified racing world. So check that stuff out. Get back to a couple comments here. Well, there you go, Todd. Hello from Todd and Run. Great year, and hopefully continuing to have a great year for Team 35 as they got to finish out the year here. But yeah, there you go. Tim, Kim and Lay, what was an hour of wasted time? What was an hour of wasted time? I was talking about just what could have been done better at New Egypt. There was a half hour of track prep that they needed to do after after we'd already started warm-ups and stuff. Again, I'm splitting hairs here. I mean, they got the show run fast. It could have been faster. But again, here I am. Hindsight's 2020. You know what I mean? It's a shame. That's all it was. So half hour or so of extra track prep, and then, they could have run the modifieds before the 4-cylinder feature. So there's your time where you could have run a modified feature. But again, I'm not bashing or anything. New Egypt did a great job overall, trying to get it in. It was also cool that another Butler was back spectating at NES on Saturday. Oh yeah, there was too many Butlers there at the racetrack. Mark, yeah, we talked about that last week with Rico and Tony Stewart, Rico Abreu and Tony Stewart teaming up. That's gonna be a lot of fun for them running the High Limit Series next year. Fingers crossed, Bridgeport Speedway get their mods in on Saturday. Yeah, let me put our schedule up here so you guys can see it and cover half my face. So you'll have Mike at Fulton. Friday and Saturday, and then Billy at Bridgeport Saturday for the Danny Serrano race. William, I got my neighbor in the pits for the high limit race at Bridgeport on Saturday. First time to a dirt track. He loved it in spite of the rain. Awesome. Well, if he loved it in spite of the rain, he's going to love it when it's not raining. Hopefully, you can get him there for a modified show as well. So there's the schedule for Mike and Billy. For this upcoming weekend, you'll have them at, like I said, you'll have Mike at Fulton and Billy at Bridgeport. Friday and Saturday. I don't know if Billy's going to be there Friday. I imagine probably do time trials and stuff Friday, or practice Friday. I mean, not time trials. I had the schedule up, guys. Sorry. I just didn't save it in front of me here. Yeah, so Friday at Bridgeport, for the Danny Serrano weekend, they'll have wingless sprints, which I believe is the news sprints. I don't know. I don't know if they still call them that or not. The crate sprint cars. Then they have a non-winners race for the sportsmen, street stocks, and 4-cylinders, and then they have modified practice. Yeah, they'll have fastest in each session get a redraw spot. So I imagine Billy will be there to practice on Friday. Then 7,000 to win. 60 laps, 7,000 to win on Saturday. Modifieds, and then sportsmen at 35 laps, 2,500 to win. And then wingless again. Wingless sprints again, and 4-cylinders. So a lot of racing. A lot of racing to be having. And they have a list, so if you want to check out Bridgeport's Facebook, they have a list of confirmed drivers. Billy's on there. Good list of guys so far that are committed to going. That'll be cool. Cool show there. And then I had Fulton stuff up here too. Let's see here. I had... it just says... let's see here. I'll have to find out later. But yeah, Fulton with a full program for Friday and Saturday. Varon was fast track. Yeah, Varon was very fast at the end there. That's for sure. Great picture. I don't know what picture you're talking about, Todd. Rob, did New Egypt make update? No, sorry, they have. As far as I know, they have not. But yeah, just keep an eye on New Egypt's social medias. I'm sure they will have something. Again, like I said, crates will be added to their October show. And then modifieds, like I said, rumor has it it'll probably be next year. The beginning of next year, they'll make that up at an event. But it's rumor. I don't hate me if it doesn't come true, or be awesome if they do something. I don't think there's a way that they can really add it into this year. I think there's too many other shows going on. I'm going to take this off now. There's only, hopefully you guys got it. I just don't think there's a way that they can add it to, because there's so many other races going on to try to add it in, and it's just one feature. So it's tough. They want to, there's just no way for them to do it. Do I know if there will be any dirt races at Bloomsburg Fairgrounds again? Everything I've heard from people that kind of know or might know, obviously know more than I do, doesn't look good. Doesn't sound like Sounds like the town doesn't want there to be racing there, which is weird. Um, but I haven't seen anything for there, which is a shame. Really cool play, really cool place. I love the whole atmosphere of the place. I love a fairground racetrack. Grew up at one, so obviously, if it fits what I want to be at a racetrack. So it was really cool to go there and watch them race. When I went with Mike, the track needed some work. They needed, and from what I heard, they ended up working on that. They put some banking in the corners and worked on some things to make it a little bit better. And I heard the racing was pretty good. So it's a shame, but it sounds like it's not supported by the enough of the people of the area. So doesn't sound like they did any racing or are going to do any racing this year. So it sucks. Yeah, Mike will run great at Fulton. I know he's excited. I know the team's excited. Billy Pauch Jr. crew chief coming in hot here. No Friday, just Saturday. So you guys don't what? You guys don't want a redraw spot? What's going on? There's 3 sessions. It's 3. I just hold my hand up like this. There's 3 sessions. Go get a redraw spot. What's he doing? Is he busy? I just found out this week that I can fit into a 5. I could squeeze into a 15. Does he mean to run it? Come on, Bill. All right, so Billy's just going Saturday. I mean, I know that's what the schedule said, but I thought maybe he would go for practice on Friday. Oh, well. Roger, oh my God. Don't watch the Jets. Been a fan forever. Think they're ever going to win. Oh, is it bad already? That's the game. The game hasn't even started, Roger. Yeah, I think it doesn't start yet. Fun fact, Billy Jr.'s a Jets fan. Sorry. I'm a Giants fan, so I guess I can't talk too much crap, but we won. Fulton is, yes. God dang it. Let me double check myself. But yeah, I believe it should be small block and then big block. 2-day. I think there is it 3 days? Yeah, so you have your 358s on. So you'll have your. Oh, so is it just 358s? So it looks like it's just 358s. That's my bad. Yeah, dirt car 358 race. And then sportsman. So there you go. All 358. Yeah, see if I'm just gonna have Jim come on here and do my job. Sail panels. Come on. Really? That's okay. Yeah, so Friday they have the Empire Sprints, Dirt Car Streets, the Pro Stock Series, Sportsman Heats and Consies, and then they have qualifiers for the modified, so it's 358s, just 358s. And then the 20,000 to win, the Outlaw 200 is Saturday. And the Sportsman 50 lapper, it's also Saturday. So 2,500 to win that. Plus a huge fireworks display. That's what I'm gonna go for. So just small block for that. Oh, Todd, you were talking about the picture of Baron. Yeah, it was that's a crazy ride he went for. The Monday night game's on already? What time did it start? It's crazy. Anyway. Why'd they start at 3:15? Or 3:15, 7:15. It's interesting. Sorry, I know people don't want to talk football here, but maybe some people do. Interesting. Oh, there's 2 games. Gotcha. Thanks, Don. See, I beat you to that, Jim. I got it. 15 lap qualifiers. Sorry, I didn't say there were 15 laps, but yes, there's qualifiers on Friday. So you guys got Friday. Are you guys going to be down there Thursday? Looks like they got. Do they have? It doesn't look like there's anything going on for you guys there specifically. Looks like. Did they have practice? Did they have practice for you guys or anything? Yeah, no, we talk racing here. All right. So we got where we're going this weekend, right? Shout out to my guy Ryan Simmons for hooked me up with a shirt this weekend. Appreciate you, Ryan. I don't know if you're watching or if you're gonna watch, but appreciate you, bud. So I had to rock it on the show this week. So we're gonna put this up here, guys. If you are interested in getting more content from the Dirt Track Untold team, you can join Club DTU. You can scan the QR code here on the screen that's next to my face and access the Dirt Track Untold Patreon. I get exclusive behind-the-scenes access of everything that goes on with Dirt Track Untold. Stuff on race day. You get early access to merch. Speaking of merch, there is new merch for Billy Pauch Jr. on the Bob Hilbert Sportswear website. MikeMahaneyRacing.com has Mike Mahaney's merch. BP3 is also on Bob Hilbert Sportswear website, bobhilbertsportswear.com, so you can get Billy and BP3. The Dirt Track Untold merch, like I usually kind of rock once in a while, is on the Dirt Track Untold website. But you can join Club DTU, get exclusive access to stuff. You can scan the QR code that is right here on the screen. I'll leave that up for a little bit. Guys, I don't have much more for you. We're going to be I'm not going to have much. We're going to be following along Mike and Billy on their racing this weekend. I'm not going to be at the track, unfortunately, so I'll just be watching on TV. We don't really have any race until we'll be going racing at Hagerstown, which I think Billy's going to be going to. So we got that in 2 weeks. We'll be going down to Hagerstown for the Short Track Super Series South race. I believe it's the finale for the South Series. We got that in 2 weeks. So we got some time to just hang out, relax, work on the race car. Thanks, John. It does look good on me. Would have looked a lot better on me if I had ran better on Friday, but practice Thursday. That's what I thought, Jim. I didn't want to jump to conclusions, but Jim, I believe MJ takes the car out on Thursday. There we go. Yes. All right. So MJ's making his debut on Thursday. You heard it here first. Very good. Good stuff. What else we got? Tuesdays, you get your Dirt Track Confessions podcast from Mandee. So Mandee will have a new Dirt Track Confessions podcast. They drop every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be ready for that. If you're looking to get some kind of racing content from the Dirt Track Untold team, we still have vlogs coming out. Even though Mandee isn't at the racetrack, we still have a great team putting videos together at the racetrack, following Billy and Mike. This past weekend, obviously, Mike wasn't racing, so we just had Billy at New Egypt. So there is 2 vlogs to watch from this past week. You get some great action from the match races and the qualifiers. To watch them from the Friday night stuff. There is some stuff to watch from Saturday. You can watch just Billy kind of run his mouth, talk about nothing for a little bit. It's pretty funny, as usual. So you can check those out. There are 2 vlogs to watch from this past weekend. So you can keep up on your DTU content that way as well. While you're waiting for tomorrow's podcast to drop with Mandee, I don't have any insight on who she had or what it's about. Sorry. Should have asked. I was texting her earlier and I didn't ask. I asked for this, but I didn't ask what's going on in the podcast. But check it out, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Ladies and gents, I ain't got much more for you. It was a kind of a lackluster weekend for us up here. We talked about a couple of highlights, talked about some lowlights. Where's everybody going? Is anybody going to Fulton this weekend? Or are we staying? Are we watching? Is anybody going to Bridgeport? Support the Serrano race? Where's everybody going this weekend? Let me know if you are going. If you're watching this on replay, drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're going to end up this weekend. Where are we going racing? Are we going somewhere else? Are you from out of the area? Where are we going to be going racing this weekend? We got racing going on. What else? What do we have nationally going on? Do we have anything? What's on the national schedule? That's not for a couple weeks. We got a lot of big races coming up. A lot of big stuff coming up. We got Lucas Oil's running this upcoming weekend. Where are they going to be? Where are they going to be at? Lucas Oil. Is that they're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania Motorsports Speedway. So you got Lucas Oil coming up to our area, up in Pennsylvania. It's a little bit up in Pennsylvania. This upcoming week. So you can watch the Lucas Oil guys there, or you can just watch it on Flow. So still plenty of racing. This is the big money season for everybody, right? We can get our big money races in at the end of the year here. That's why it's tough for anybody to make up any kind of races, because everything's already taken. Wally, you'll be at Evergreen. All right, very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it there. I'm going to go eat some dinner. Appreciate everybody hanging out, stopping by, saying hey, and what's going on. But we're going to call it there. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and said hey, and let me ramble on here, and we'll talk back and forth a little bit. We'll be back again next week, same time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, to just talk about racing. Hopefully we have some good stuff to talk about from Team 35 up at Fulton, and for Billy Jr. and Team 1 over here at Bridgeport. So we'll have the guys both racing this weekend, which will be great. Hopefully we have a lot of good things to talk about, hopefully a couple wins. So we'll check back in next week. Make sure you guys are supporting your local racetracks one way or another, whether you're going to the races. Hope to see you there sometime in the next couple weeks. Like I said, I'll be at Hagerstown in a couple weeks, and I'll be in New Egypt at the end of October. So I'll see you guys at one of those tracks. But if you can't get to the racetrack, Flow Racing, Dirt Track Digest TV, New Egypt goes YouTube. Check out a streaming service and support them that way. Support our racetracks, guys. Let's make sure we're doing everything we can to support them. But that's going to be it for me tonight, guys. I appreciate you stopping in. Once again, that's me checking out. Enjoy the rest of your night, everybody. I'll see you next week. Bye.